So yeah, hi guys.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Could be
So you're
better.
gonna have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so life has been rocking me
Okay,
lately, but I'm good.
hanging
Great.
in there.
Yeah.
Life is rocking. It's but unshakable kingdom, I guess.
Yeah, always.
It's our shit.
Let's see, I'm fun.
It's just the way it is.
Gale, dog. So yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day, So
Yeah. Same on my side, guys. It's just
How
been-
are you?
I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in there. So yeah, it's just been, a here and there thing, but with God.
Okay.
Siyafika sama ambulance.
Yeah.
Skala siyaphambili.
Yebo.
Okay, so guys, welcome to Opening Up. So this is a podcast that I started. So initially it was supposed to be me and Cameron, actually. So the idea when
We
it
just
came
popped
up,
up, guys. I don't
Yeah.
know where we just
Girls
spawned.
rule the world.
yeah.
Yes.
So it was an idea that I had for me and him. He's actually my brother, my older brother. So, and then I just decided that, you know what, I think maybe I need 2-3 more panelists to be on the show. So the reason why I actually chose you guys to be part of the podcast is because I've had real conversations with each and every one of you, and I think that somewhere, somehow, we do share something that is not a part of maybe friendship.
Yeah.
We've had real conversations about some things,
Yeah.
So initially that was my intention, to like have people that I relate to on a high level than friendship. So
We are those
Period.
people.
yeah.
Period.
Now,
So
for those that don't know us, I'm Ruby, and this is
Ips. I'm Ipeleng.
period.
Period.
How do you just go into something without telling them who we are?
sorry about that, guys. So and then over there,
It's Cameron.
okay, and then I'm your host, guys. I'm Shaquan. They obviously know me as Gamo, but just prefer Shaquan because
Scamsito.
Scamsito. I've never heard that one.
Hey, I also
So
don't
you
know where that
know
is
that one.
from, but
I also don't
okay.
know that
Okay.
So these are my panelists. So you're gonna be seeing them on each and every episode, unless stated otherwise, on future episodes. First question is, what made me want to start the podcast? So initially, I think that in real life, we go through things in isolation that we do not
Definitely.
want to talk about, maybe with other people. We don't feel comfortable. So I just thought about a space that I could create for like an audience or people on the team or on the podcast to just be able to share their stories, their real life experiences, what they've went through, what they've been through, what life looks like for them
Yeah.
on an isolated environment. So opening up is basically for everyone to be able to share a story, either anonymous in the audience or the viewers. If maybe you want to remain anonymous, you can be able to share your story. And then we come here on this platform. YouTube is a very big platform also. So come on this platform, and then we share the story for you. And then maybe if there's someone else that relates to it, good. And
Good.
then,
Basically, siya dissector.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that, this came about because there's that quote that says, no man is an island.
Yeah.
English, yeah. So I'm glad that you actually gave or are giving us that space to just come
Yeah.
together and just let it out. I believe in community and having people to do life with. So
Yeah.
shout out to you.
And reliable people.
Definitely.
Yeah, also that, yeah.
reliable. Please.
Are you firing shots?
No, I just feel like also you can have a community of people but not have someone reliable to
Mm.
like
Yeah.
ask for help, or and I feel like we're gonna jump into that soon. soon. But reliable, yes, please be reliable. Now we will be reliable.
Shame.
Yeah.
Cameron is just there, like, I'm just here.
Marakfani, at least I made it, at least I'm fine.
Yeah.
Akfani vele.
Akfani.
Because I'm in a room full of Zulu people, and I'm just here like, but okay, sharp. Carry on.
Yeah, so
Mhlaba wethu. Anyway.
this is our world. So that's basically what opening up is about. So I just created this space for everyone in the outside world and also closer to me that feels as if maybe I'm that one person that they can be able to talk to or speak about with other stuff that maybe they cannot share with other people, because I do know that I've had like personal conversations with each and every one of you, and there are moments that we've also shared that are like deeper on a certain extent. So and then I think that's the reason from my side. And then the prompting question will be, how has opening up on this podcast, because you haven't opened up yet, but how has opening up as a podcast, as a platform that I've created or that we have created, changed you since the creation or since being part of it? So I
I
don't
must
know.
start.
Well,
Honestly, I'm gonna give it to Cameron because why not?
Why not?
like you said just now, Guti, it's still a new podcast, so we haven't really gotten to that point where, we've opened up and exposed ourselves to people that much. So at the same time, it's not something that we can gauge like right from the start and say it's helped me do this, do that, or be this kind of a person, or so I think we'll see as time goes how each of us actually unfold and become, I think, the people that we want to be, or the people we think we're going to be
That's
as
good.
we open up. So that's what I think. I don't know.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I think for me, commitment. Like, it hasn't been a long journey. Like, we're literally just starting, but I think commitment. Like, the commitment to actually get here.
Yeah.
You get, like, the commitment to actually spend money to, like, be like, okay, no, I'm actually going to do this thing, and it's going to be a thing. And I feel like also for my end, I've had like talks about YouTube channels and podcasts and stuff, but I was like, hey, nah, now that I see the admin, and I think for me it has taught me commitment from you guys as my co-panelists. So, here we are, and here's to more as well.
Cheers to more.
Great.
Yeah.
I think for me, bringing in like the concept of opening up and now bringing the panel and not the panel, the podcast, you need to be intentional about it. Intentionality is very important, because then now if you're going to say that, okay, no, I want to start a podcast, you have to be intentional about it. Right? You need to now think about the work that has to go into it. And they say that like you'll see the amount of work or how hard you've worked on something based on like the results, right? So I think then now, if you're intentional throughout the whole process, then you'll
yield your results at the end.
Yeah, they'll show. And again, with the whole thing of opening up, if you say that, okay, I want to be vulnerable and open up and whatever, you need to be intentional about it as well. You can't just say that I'm just gonna do it just because. Nah, that's not how it works, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's like my thing, and I'm learning also to be intentional about a lot of things in my life, and this is somewhat like a push. As well, that do it and be intentional about it.
Sort of reminds me of what's this unwavering faith. Like, you have to hope for something, but not see the results, and just hope the results will come as a because I don't think, we come into this being like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to the faith and the hope. So if we have the faith and the hope, then
And the commitment.
the commitment, the intention, being intentional about it, we are grand. We nametse skepe.
I also
Koloi ya
think
Elia. Kamu how?
imoto yakhona.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Kamo?
Yeah, me personally, I just think that everyone has a story to tell. I just think that somewhere, somehow, we get to a point where if we speak about something, eventually we're going to want to pour it out for everyone to hear.
Yeah.
Initially, the purpose is for you to just let things out and feel free, and then also hope that maybe someone somewhere is relating to your story.
I was about to say, sorry, that with you telling your story, you can also motivate the next person. And maybe you're going through debt, for example, and then you get out of that and you tell you tell your story, and someone's like, okay, no, I'll also be able to get out of the situation that I'm in. So sorry for That's
So
what
I
I'd say.
think that's where my head was at, and then so it's a matter of being able to say something to someone or something to some people for them to be able to hear you and get where you're coming from and understand your position, understand your situation, and maybe perhaps there are people that know how to help you get out of certain situations without you ever even having to ask.
Definitely.
Or feeling judged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
That's a
at
good
the end
one.
of the day,
We listen, we
judgment.
don't judge.
Yeah, exactly. You understand.
Don't
This is a safe
judge.
space, guys.
So, it's a matter of not being judged by some people. If someone hasn't gone through what you're going through, what you've been through, they should be able to listen and just say, man, I'm gonna pat you on the back. Hopefully, in the long run, or hopefully in the future, it becomes better. All you have to do is 1, 2, 3. Because I highly believe in, if someone believes in you and understand what you're going through, they know the right words to say to you for you to actually keep moving, understand the situation that you're also in. And so I think that's
And
the
in a
main-
sense, actually, be used as vessels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
What are you
As long as
No,
we
I'm
don't
joking, I'm
spread
joking.
misinformation, please.
Yeah.
Then I think everything will just
Also,
unfold.
just like a disclaimer, because we're all getting to know each other on a personal level and everything, and also the viewers are getting to know us. We're also still doing this life thing. We're also still learning. We're also still on the journey. So I think us giving grace to each other, giving grace to the viewers, and as I'm asking, please also give us grace, because like I said, we're still doing this life thing together. So
At the end of the
type
day.
shit.
So we need to tell the viewers about our vision and goals in terms of the podcast, and what our listeners can expect from future episodes. So that'll be the first point that I'm gonna highlight. So I think maybe Ipeleng, you can just start with that one.
So what is the question?
What can our viewers expect from future episodes?
Openness, number one. And knowledge about certain things, on how to navigate certain things, we don't have all the answers, but I feel like once we collaborate as a community on how we can deal about with regards to a certain situation, then anything is possible. Damn, was off guard.
Yeah, I know.
By the way.
I know.
Throwing you into the deep end.
Yeah, openness, as I've said, vulnerability, comfort, a sense of community. Yeah, a sense of community. Whatever a community entails. Silapho. Yeah, there. But yeah, most of all, I think also like our spirits will just,
Okay.
that's all I can say. But yeah, just
Dusts me, yo.
but yeah,
being
just
the
keep
funny
watching,
person.
and you'll see what we are bringing to the table. Yeah.
And then I have a second point here.
No,
So-
what do you say
Okay.
when I came Ronnie? Sizwe ngawe.
Are you a talker? Sorry. Do you talk a lot?
Not really.
Okay, I can tell.
Sometimes I talk a lot. Sometimes.
Okay.
Angazi kwenze njani when I start talking a lot, but yeah, guys, don't judge. Anyway, I think basically kind of adding on to what you said,
Yeah.
a sense of openness. Also, the viewers, I think, should also be comfortable with the fact that we're here for a long time, so that
Definitely.
Hype.
so that it's gonna be easier for them to like vent out also their frustrations, like maybe konokshang and Bama somewhere, and you're just like, as in, I need to let this out. Let me just, also initially to just grow the podcast, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but like, yeah.
We'll figure it out on the
It
way.
goes back
there.
to a sense of commitment.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, I think from me that's it.
Washa.
Okay. And then how do you want to impact the audience?
Why did everyone
What
turn
would
and
you
look at me?
say, Rui?
Yeah, like, what would you say?
What would you say?
What would you say?
How do I want to impact?
Yeah.
I think in today's world, a lot of people are very closed off and they don't want to lean on the next person for help or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And also just breaking this narrative of as a man, you can't do this and no.
Sorry, but that one doesn't work. That as a man, as in daughter, I'm gonna
Yeah, like guys, come on. Like let's be realistic. Like I'm a peasant, you are a peasant.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Together.
feelings. Like things do impact you in life.
Yeah.
So I think slowly but surely creating that safe space for men especially, and right now I'm advocating for men.
Halala.
But I'm advocating for men.
Shout out to the men out there too.
Creating that safe space, saying that like it's okay for you to feel your emotions. It's okay for
Definitely.
you to cry. It's okay for you to do all of this. So just creating impact slowly but surely, one viewer at a time. You know what I mean?
Pinch me.
Exactly. Like
And
on that note, actually, our next episode, we're touching on vulnerability.
Yeah.
yeah.
What it means to be vulnerable, what it looks like, you know. And yeah.
And to add on what you were saying about men and stuff, so I'm actually part of this other organization. It's actually called Boys Mentorship SA.
Okay.
So yeah, shout out to the men behind that organization. So this guy, he came in Glen, so I think he asked for him to like be able to use the church as a space.
Your church.
Yeah,
Okay.
church as a space. So the purpose of that organization is to be able to bring boys and bring men into a same area or a same community and be able to make them feel unalone. I don't know if that's a word, but whatever.
Unalone.
Yeah.
New word.
We have a
New
new word
word.
in a dictionary.
So it's a matter of if maybe you grew up without a father, if maybe you grew up without someone that's a father figure to you, you can be able to go to another man and just ask, for them to be there for you,
Yeah.
even though, they don't know you on that fatherly and son
But they get to learn you.
But then they get to learn you, yes. So he has that kind of organizational movement. So his aim is to reach 1 million boys. I don't know up until which year
Yeah.
but that's his aim initially, to reach 1 million boys. So when he came there, I think he heard my story and then he was like, I'm interested in getting to know you as a person.
Yeah.
So he made me part of that journey. I was able to share my story in front of like 50 to 100 plus boys, kids, men, tell them that, yeah, this is how I grew up, this is what happened along the way, blah, blah, blah. So being part of that, I also appeared in a newspaper.
Oh
So
my god.
it's a newspaper. Yeah.
Period.
So
I mean,
yeah, because Angithi, obviously.
No, you can't do that.
Pinch me.
Sorry, guys. So Akere, it was just out of the blue type of thing.
Yeah. Now
I
we
also
get it. We
didn't
get
know.
it. We get it.
So I think what motivates me more when it comes to gents, when it comes to men, boys, it's actually being part of that, because I actually saw that you are able to coexist with boys not your age. You're able to coexist maybe with someone that you thought you hated, but because you've never had a conversation with that person, you actually realized that there's nothing in between what's happening with you two.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just being part of that, I think somehow, it's good to, empower each other as a people. It is also important to like not overlook the gender, the type of person you are, the age or whatever. So it is
Definitely,
important to
yeah.
like just look at the person that you are and just think of yourself. How would I want to be treated if I was in that same position? So yeah. So yeah, I think maybe adding on to what you said, just had to like highlight that. You would see out there is an organization that, empowers boys, empowers men, like in that. Yeah, so I actually want to introduce you guys to that organization later on in the podcast or whatever. Maybe he can also come and share his story, whatever the case may be.
not maybe he should.
Yeah, he should actually. Yeah, sorry about that.
Can I just add on there? Because I think a lot of young men need that, because I'll take our relationship for example. Sometimes, like he'll come to me and be like, so when I'm in a situation like this, what do I do? And I'll sit and be like, yo, damn, you know,
Yeah.
because I have a big brother, right? But he's never been there, like there for me. So sometimes it becomes like difficult when Shaquan comes to me and he asks me for advice or to help him with something, and like you don't know the disappointment from your big brother, so you don't want to let him down, and you're just there like, you know what, let me bend over backwards and break my back to help him. So I think initiatives like that should be a thing.
Definitely.
Also, not for gents only, but like for girls
Yeah, I was
also.
also about to say, yeah.
So that we're able to like navigate our own struggles while we're trying to help other people with their struggles, So
Be kind.
Yeah. Because also one
Yeah.
thing that like we don't want to do is, they said they were talking about trauma bonding outside. And I was just sorry. But one thing that we also don't want to do is put my problems on you.
Yeah.
And traumatize you in a certain way. Like we need to be sure that we do it in a certain way that yeah, man. My big sister Kat always tells me, I'm going through this so that you don't have to. Yes, I can't protect you from everything that's going on in the world, but the little that I can do, I'm gonna do it. Shout out to Kat. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Also adding on to what Ipeleng said, I think earlier on, about like not being here to share information that doesn't exist or misinforming people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what can make this podcast different.
Yeah.
It's for us to be able to share real stuff,
Yeah.
real
Fact checking.
situations, be able to relate with people that are outside. So I think that's the one thing that'll make this podcast different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
For
that
sure.
yeah, we're here to tell real stories and also share our stories, and then be able to like coexist with people outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the last.
I struggle with that, but yeah,
Yeah, I know. With
coexisting.
Take this as your
Yeah.
as your therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take this as your therapy, because then now come here, offload. You're like, yo guys,
Yeah.
this. Like when you came in, I was like, do you need a moment to just gather yourself? Like,
He
just,
looked like he needed to breathe. Nah?
yeah, no, he did. He did.
I try to look faster.
First thing.
Faster njengomzekeze.
That's exactly what we're trying to break. That right there. That right there.
Fosters live longer.
Hi.
Do they though? Really?
No.
They do actually.
Guys.
You know, when I was still in school.
Bashimani.
It's not even about
Yeah, it's
Bashimani.
not
Like,
even about that. Like, you know, like in real life, ne? Like when you're in a situation that needs you to like force things.
Okay.
Not relationship wise. I'm not talking about
Okay. Yeah.
don't force those ones.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
those ones they don't need to be forced.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't
Yeah.
work. Leave it.
If I spani, I spani. So yeah, there are certain situations where like you feel as if you need to give an extra push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's you like going over a certain limit or a certain extent that your mind or your heart and your body allows you to.
Mara, we
So-
mustn't suffer.
Yeah, like not in a suffering
Yeah,
manner, but I'm just
yeah.
saying, Uti, if it needs me to like, you know, go extra
For
hard.
still.
Yeah, like
In will
Ruby
for
said,
still.
Uti, he looked like he needed a
Need a break.
moment,
Yeah.
but then it was just like, I'm gonna soldier on. So those are the type of things that maybe you were talking about. Uti, hey, bruh.
Sometimes you
In
don't
life-
need to, guys.
In life, Ruby,
No,
le
honestly.
taxi, even if itaxi ligcwele mfethu
Fine.
siyama nginyawo. If ufuna ukufika la nofika khona, that's the situation, that's
I
the
get
option.
that, but like honestly, in the sense, okay, hit me out. Let me cook. Sometimes you don't need to, because then now it might affect you badly, right? And I want to make a stupid example with Cameron. What if he just started falling here because he didn't breathe? You know, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Sometimes just you don't need to force it every single time. Not every time, guys. Don't listen to these boys.
Sometimes just
Yeah.
sharp.
Take a
Fade it.
moment.
But we don't. Some situations don't need us to
That's the thing. Sometimes Wusa
be
doesn't
onto
work
doing
compared to like
accelerate.
that's-
sit there, you're like Wusa, and then you realize, mara yafana mas. Let me
Find
just
another way then. Then if then in that moment you need to force things, force it.
We're not saying don't force.
Yeah, just not
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not in a suffering way either.
Yeah.
So please.
So yeah, and then also
time.
yeah, I think maybe we can just skip this one. So yeah, a teaser.
Sorry.
What's coming next? So future episodes, what is coming next? So yeah, like Ruby said, we're gonna have an episode. So our next episode is venting out. So we're basically gonna be venting out of any vulnerable situations. Yeah.
and then ningakhali, please.
Vulnerability.
Ningakhali, please.
Yeah.
That's what
so
they call it.
guys,
Ne?
yeah. It's not our mother.
Isingisi.
It's not our mother
Our mother
tongue,
tongue.
mother's elbow, or mother's it's not our mothers. So yeah, vulnerability. So we're gonna be talking about what that looks like